at 6, a runway collision turns deadly. More details to come.
With long lines, ICE agents are heading to airports across the country to help with operations, and soon coming to Cleveland Hopkins International Airport.
Hey guys, I'm outside and we're going to talk about the great weather right now.
Background security improvements, a new security feature created by Apple in hopes of protecting searches. More to come.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good Monday evening, Portage County, and welcome back to Kent Stater TV. I'm Lila Schaefer-Hughes.
And I'm Amanda Nichelle. Thank you for joining us.
An assault happened in front of the 157 Lounge on Water Street in the early morning hours of Sunday. Suspects were wearing a white and black Hawaiian shirt and a cream and brown quarter zip pullover with black pants.
Police are attempting to identify the male subjects in the photo. If you know either of them, please contact the Kent Police Department at 330-673-7732. Fake Patty's Day on Saturday was a lot of fun for all students at Kent, but for service workers, it was a full day with more than 155 calls to the Kent Police Department.
That is right, Amanda. Out of those 19 were arrests, 30 for disorderly contact, and 12 for noise complaints.
There were also more than 9 calls reporting open containers and parking violations.
A security guard was shot outside of an Akron concert club Saturday evening. 18-year-old Cody Scarsboy was kicked out of the vortex and then shot the 38-year-old security guard outside of the venue with an illegal firearm he was carrying. Scarsboy was taken for questioning and is now being held at Summit County Jail. He faces charges of felonious assault, carrying a concealed weapon, and possession of a firearm in a liquor permit premises. This is the second time this week that a security guard was shot in Akron.
No injuries were reported from the fire at an auto glass factory near Dayton, Ohio. The fire began on the roof of a new facility, FAU Glass America, this Sunday night. Fire Marshal Doug Hatcher said it is unclear if any chemicals inside were affected, and added that the wind and lightning made it harder to battle the growing blaze.
Vehicle collides with Frontier plane at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. Earlier this morning, authorities responded to the minor aircraft incident. An unoccupied tug rolled into the airplane and caused the plane damage. The aircraft was unoccupied and no injuries were reported at this crash. This incident leaves no impact to travelers, and all Frontier plane flights remain scheduled for the day.
2 people are dead and more than a dozen are injured after a plane and a fire truck collided at New York's LaGuardia Airport Sunday night. The deceased are the pilot and co-pilot of the Air Canada regional flight from Montreal. The 2 people who were in the fire truck are in stable condition, and the airport resumed its flights this Monday afternoon, with just one of 2 runways and lengthy delays.
We went down for a regular landing, and we came in pretty hard. We immediately hit something, and it was just chaos from there. About 5 seconds later, we had to come to a stop, but in that short period, I mean, everybody was hunkered down and everybody was screaming. Pretty quickly, we didn't have any directions because the pilot's cabin had been kind of destroyed.
ICE agents are set to deploy to a list of airports this week, including Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. Trump says that the ICE agents are being sent to supplement TSA lines. This is related to the government shutdown, leaving TSA workers without pay. With the ICE agents deploying soon, the airports near us, Pittsburgh International Airport, Chicago O'Hare International Airport, are also affected, totaling to 14 airports nationwide.
I want to thank ICE because they stepped in so strongly. They'll do great. And if that's not enough, I'll bring in the National Guard.
On Sunday, President Donald Trump said he will not make a deal on funding the Department of Homeland Security unless Democrats support the Save America Act. The bill, which would tighten federal voting requirements, is referred by the president as the most important piece of legislation before the U.S. Senate. But Democrats are holding up funding the department unless changes are made to how ICE agents conduct immigration enforcement operations.
President Donald Trump ordered a 5-day pause on the planned strikes on the Iranian power plant. In a social media post, the president affirmed that there were discussions over the weekend about ending the conflict. But according to the Iranian state media, Tehran denies any ongoing talks with Washington. Trump had previously threatened military action if Iran did not open the Strait of Hormuz by Monday evening.
We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
Oil prices are going down as U.S. President Donald Trump postpones attacks on Iranian energy targets. Investors and governments are still paying attention to the Strait of Hormuz and how the war is affecting the supply of crude oil. Even with the declines, prices remain more than a third higher than they were before the United States and Israel attacked Iran on February 28.
Hawaii is suffering from its worst flooding in over 20 years. Heavy rains in Oahu and Maui have forced thousands to evacuate as homes and cars were swept away by rising waters.
Governor Josh Green estimates damage could exceed $1 million, impacting schools, roads, and hospitals. And while the worst of the storm has passed, residents remain under boil water notices as cleanup efforts begin.
By Sunday afternoon, it is said that the worst of the storms appeared to subside, but the leftovers started to hit the rest of the United States.
KSTV's weather correspondent Basie Baylog has more on the forecast. Casey, how has this storm affected us here in Ohio?
Yeah, that's right, guys. There was a storm that hit recently, but here in Ohio, we did not see much of the effects besides a nice cold front that is giving us the snow that is here right now and a little bit of the winds and also some of the storms that we saw last night with the hail. But if we get into the rest of today's forecast, we hit to a high of 34 degrees, so we just got right above the freezing marks. Was not very pleasant today. Still isn't pleasant now. We had a lot of snow showers today, no sun, and right now the wind isn't too strong, but there was a little bit of gust that got up to 13 miles per hour. So very cold day, very cold right now. And if we look into the rest of the night, we go dip down into 31 degrees after 8, 28 degrees 10, and by the time we get to midnight, a nice 26 degrees. That will continue into the night until tomorrow, and also for the rest of the night, we will not be looking at any more snow. After the next few hours, we should be done with that. But if we go into tomorrow, we get a nice 47 degrees, much better than today, and even with a little bit of snow or a little bit of sun, but very different from today, where it's all cold and gray, and also only a little bit of wind, but as I'm saying, as the wise words of the Snow Queen Elsa, the cold never bothered me anyways. But I'll meet you guys back inside for the rest of the forecast.
Cuba begins to restore power after third nationwide collapse in a month. The country is currently facing an energy crisis caused by its aging grid along with a U.S. energy blockade. After President Donald Trump warned off tariffs on any country that sells or provides oil to Cuba. Cuba has gone 3 months without receiving supplies of diesel, gasoline, or aviation fuel, all vital for the economy and power generation.
2 people were trapped under rubble after 2 buildings collapsed in Istanbul, Turkey this Sunday. Officials say that the explosion was caused by natural gas, and as a result, the two adjacent buildings collapsed. Search and rescue pulled out 9 injured who were hospitalized, and 1 later died from being in critical condition.
Police in London are investigating a suspected anti-Semitic hate crime after ambulances belonging to a Jewish ambulance service were set on fire early Monday morning. Volunteer organization Hatzula Northwest had 4 ambulances damaged, and the cause of the fire is still being investigated. But security camera video showed 3 people running across the street to the site where the ambulances were parked.
This is a direct attack on the Jewish community. You cannot get more low than destroying ambulances that are there to save lives.
A rideshare app to help those in wheelchairs has just been created in hopes of making rides accessible for all.
ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Class, today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Greetings, loved ones. Let's take a journey.
And although I may be lonely, stick around for what each of the cast members has planned for today.
All that and more on College Voice.
Peace.
Peace out.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
The economy has been busy, including a Trader Joe's recall and a Toyota investment.
KSTV's Emery Chula has more. Hi, Emery. What can you tell us?
Hi guys, that's right. There's important news within the economy, beginning with an update coming from the store Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's recalls more than 36 million pounds of ready-to-eat and frozen chicken and pork fried rice, ramen, and shumai dumpling products. This is due to a report of glass found in the products, which was made by a Portland company, Ajinomoto Foods North America Inc., who makes food for the retailer nationwide. This comes after a recall of another product due to glass less than 2 weeks ago. The food can be returned for a full refund. From shopping to driving cars, Toyota Motor announced Monday that they plan to spend $1 billion to expand the production of 2 U.S. plants. The new investments include $800 million at a plant in Kentucky to expand production of the Camry sedan and RAV4 crossover, and $200 million to expand the Toyota Grand Highlander SUV at a plant in Indiana. The investment will go through 2030. Speaking of driving, Dominique Townsend, a woman in Detroit, Michigan, has created a rideshare app to help those in wheelchairs. Townsend decided to make the app after she became paralyzed in 2024. The app is not fully developed yet, but it's a pilot program that will find accessible drivers for riders through her website. Townsend said she needs drivers, but there will be a background check for those interested. From driving cars to being on your phone, Apple has made a new security feature that works in the background. The feature is called Background Security Improvements, and it will make small fixes without doing a full update. The security feature will aim at systems like Safari, system libraries, and Apple's WebKit engine, which includes Apple Mail and App Store apps. There is an option for it to be turned off in settings. From fixing phones to fixing Barbie dolls, police in Missouri found 5 Barbie dolls that may have fentanyl in the packaging. The dolls were sold by a store called Cargo Largo in Independence, Missouri. The toys were sold before the workers found and reported a suspicious powder. Both investigators and workers tracked down the affected dolls. Other retailers or dolls are not believed to be affected. No injuries were reported. For KSTV, I'm Amory Chula. Now with Casey with more information on the weather.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
A meteor over the weekend has left one Houston area family with an unexpected hole in their home. NASA scientists confirm a meteor weighing roughly about 1 ton entered the atmosphere Saturday afternoon, becoming visible nearly 50 miles above Montgomery County before breaking apart.
Residents in Cypress Station reported a deafening bomb as fragments hit the ground. One woman described a rock piercing her roof and denting her floor.
I can say it's already much better inside, and unfortunately that will be the case for the next few days here, and I'm already warming up. But if we look outside right now, up north by the lake, they are getting slammed with the cold temperatures with a 37 degrees to 34 over there in Akron, Canton over here. But down south, they're getting a little bit of relief of 46 degrees in Cincinnati. But overall, that snowstorm, that cold front that came in that I mentioned earlier is definitely starting to take a toll on the temperatures. Not nice outside, very cold. But if we get ahead and look at a closer look of here in the Kent area, right now in 32, we are just at that freezing mark, which is why we are seeing all of that snow. And up north, a little bit warmer in Cleveland, but overall, I would say all in this area, we are getting hit with the snow and wind, and all around Northeast Ohio, they're at freezing temperatures. And if we go ahead and look into our extended forecast, we don't see much relief in the next few days. We barely just get above that freezing mark, except on Wednesday we do get the high of 61, but very brief, and we are hit with a little bit of storms of that. So while it is nice, we do not have a lot of time to go outside. It is not very nice. And if we go ahead and look into the rest of the forecast, it is 62 degrees. So continuing to be up and down, so we do have to get used to these constant changes with the spring. So not a lot of relief, but make sure to try and go outside when it's nice out and stay warm. But that is all I have for you guys. And if you want to keep track with the weather, stay tuned here for KSTV TV. For KSTV, I'm Casey Baylog.
Amazon's MMG's Project Hail Mary dominated the weekend box office with $80.5 million domestic debut. The sci-fi epic starring Ryan Gosling recorded the second highest opening for a non-franchise film in recent years, trailing Oppenheimer. The film has grossed $140.9 million globally to date, surpassing initial industry expectations and other space movies like The Martian.
BTS is making a comeback. All 7 members logged on to a live stream and presented their new upcoming documentary titled BTS The Return. The film will offer fans a chance to have an inside look at BTS's journey during the production of their latest album, Arirang, released Friday. It will also follow the lives of the 7 members of the group as they go back to their public lives, and the documentary will be premiered on Netflix on Friday, March 27th.
The Cavs played the Pelicans this past Saturday in what could be the game of the year. Highlights after the break.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School, college first-round draft pick, on and off the field. We were taught to not show any signs of weakness. During the football season, I would stop eating, but I didn't know I was depressed. I thought that something was wrong with me. For 20-plus years was physical. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father, as a man, and as a husband. Put the importance on your mental health. I'm not scared to talk about it anymore. The first tool is therapy. The second one is positive self-talk. And then journaling, putting your thoughts on paper. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
brush, brushy brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. You've got your almost done.
Oh yeah, duh. Do you like rubber duckies?
Public teeth stay happy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
As I did 2 years in college in Brazil, we don't have anything inside of a college that is similar to student media. We want to do here on Flash Media is to create something that we call a special connection with the client. It's something human to human. I'm not just there to take his money and to give him on some ads. I'm there to help his business at the same time that he's helping our business. So those are the clients that we were looking for.
It surges to its best TV start since 2011, with viewership up by 6%.
The tournament averaged 9.8 million for the first 3 days, with primetime games averaging 12.5 million, making it the most watched first-round window in NCAA tournament history.
This has been the best start since CBS and TNT began showing all of the games in 2011.
Speaking of March Madness, Trent, have you been tuning in?
Yes, I have been, and March has been complete madness. My bracket is absolutely busted, along with everybody else's.
Oh, well, that's disappointing, but can you tell us your favorite team still in it at least?
Well, as a diehard Flashes fan, we didn't make it, but you know who's been crushing it in madness in all of March? The Kent baseball team. Well, I'm Trent Branson, and I got a lot of Kent madness for you, so let's head over to the Diamond. The Kent State baseball team had a triple-header over the weekend against University of Massachusetts on Sunday. We had a back-and-forth game coming down to the wire. The Flashes ended up pulling out the win 9-8. Sawyer Salatra had a huge home run, which scored in 2 other players. Ben Rabatin was also stellar on the mound, having 7 strikeouts. The Flashes completed the sweep, which is their 4th on the year. Kent now moves to 18-4, which is their best start since 1983. The Flashes return home to host Pittsburgh on Tuesday, March 24th at 3 p.m. at the Schoonover Stadium. Kent State Gymnastics will have 3 representatives in 2026 NCAA Regionals. The 3 representatives are Charlie Boehner, Jersey Bingham, and Heidi Schultz. Boehner is competing in 2 different events, the vault and uneven bars. Bingham will also compete in the vault competition. Schultz rounds out the Flashes regional team competing on the balance beam. The Lexington Regionals is set for April 1st through the 5th. Full regional information, including session times and event schedule, will be announced by the NCAA in the next coming week. Cavs versus Pelicans, looking like a March Madness game. Let's look at the highlights. Harden to Merrill, up to Mobley for the slam. Pelicans running the break. Queen driving hard, throws it up to Markovic, and he slams it home. Keon Ellis catches the pass, pump fakes, goes up and under 2 Pelicans defenders before finishing with the left hands. Murray passes to Murphy, who shoots from the moon, and the ball has landed. Pelicans take a 10-point lead. Pelicans starting to pull away as Bay steps into a shot and hits, extends the lead. Cavs trying to make a comeback here. Finds Harden for a wide open 3, hits it and cuts the lead to 1. The Cavs were on a 16-2 run at this point. Harden with the chance to win it. Passes to Mitchell. Mitchell drives, draws a contact, flips it up, and banks it home and 1. Mitchell finished with 27 points and 7 rebounds to lead the Cavs to win. Cavs won 111-106. To stay up to date on all things Kent State sports, head over to KentStater.com and make sure to follow Kent Stater Sports on Instagram. For KSTV, I'm Trent Branson.
More than 4,000 rubber ducks were dropped into a lake to race towards the finish line, all running for a good cause.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School, college first-round draft pick, on and off the field. We were taught to not show any signs of weakness. During the football season, I would stop eating, but I didn't know I was depressed. I thought that something was wrong with me. For 20 plus years was physical physical. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father, as a man, and as a husband. Put the importance on your mental health. I'm not scared to talk about it anymore. The first tool is therapy. The second one is positive self-talk. And then journaling, putting your thoughts on paper. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
We've had plenty of professionals come into our campus because they really love the work that students are doing here. Just having that professional experience that we try to mimic every day, I have really been able to show up and confidently say to employers, I've tried this, I've edited, shot, and interviewed plenty of people and think I could be an asset to this newsroom, but I want to learn.
Rubber Ducky Regatta raises $30K in Alabama. 4,000 rubber ducks were dropped into a lake to race towards the finish line. The 9th annual Rubber Ducky Regatta took place in Foley on Saturday. All proceeds benefit the Ronald McDonald House, an organization that provides housing for families that lets them stay close to their hospitalized children at little to no cost. The event was a huge success, raising $30,000. Thank you for tuning in this Monday evening. For more stories in your community, be sure to stay updated with Kent Stater.
And go vote for Best of Kent on kentstater.com. I'm Amanda Nichelle.
And I'm Lila Schaefer-Hughes. Have a good night, Portage County.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love. Love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?